Friends, family, fans, welcome back to another episode of Back Nine Bets, episode 151. And then there were 30. It is the Tour Championship, Back Nine Bets, presented by Play Profit X. Use code FG Degenerates to get yourself 1.5% back on your first 30 days of plays. Welcome to Back Nine Bets. We are rocking the dad hat, the Bacon, Elvis, ride t-shirt. We're going chill. It's a weird week. Not actually going to really do too much to a championship, if I'm being 100% honest with you. We've got JJ Spahn, 18-1. Ben Griffin, 23-1. Cam Young, 20-1. I think that's how we're rolling. Simple situation. Not really going to be doing too much to a championship stuff. We're going to be getting into some Ryder Cup stuff. I didn't plan on doing this. I'm just not in the mood to do to a championship stuff. So we're going to deep dive some Ryder Cup stuff, if that's okay with you guys. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna take a journey. I don't know where the show is gonna take us, but it's gonna take us to a place that's magical. It's gonna be nerdy. It's gonna be Ryder Cuppery. Here's the model. It's up in the Back Nine Bets Model Maniac Discord. Link in the description below. Use Tour 50 for 50% off your first month. If you have any Tour Championship questions, though, Mike, chat, let me know. We can deep dive in one way or another. But I'm just not in the mood, if you know what I'm saying. I should have just relabeled this to a Ryder Cup show. But it's going to be a Ryder Cup show now. And as we see over here, we are filtered in by the Model Maniac format breakdown. So we can see, okay, these are the Ryder Cuppers that are present for this Ryder Cup situation. These are the guys that are available. These are the guys that I think stand a chance to potentially make the team. It has narrowed down significantly since. We can go and check it out. So we can use this if we need. Here's the course. And to me, this is rather interesting. We have got a lot going on with the golf course, and I'm in the mood for a balanced diet. Seems to be the case. All right, so what's typically happened in past Ryder Cups for me, I found at Rome, there were 3 par 3s that were on odd holes and only 1 on the even holes, which means that someone hit a lot more approach shots and someone hit a lot less drivers. So you can pair up a good driver with a good approach player and send them off on the correct holes, and it will balance them out perfectly because one will be playing to their strengths more often than the other. Will be playing to their weaknesses. You know what I'm saying? So if you've got a bad approach player with a good approach player, you send them off on that specific hole. That's not the case this week. That's what I'm trying to get at you. As you can see, odd driver, even driver. Odd driver means you're going off hole 1. Even driver means you're teeing off hole 2. It works in such a way that you get your predetermined tee shots. It's not who putted the ball in last. It's who gets that hole. Odds or evens. That's basically how it rolls. So if you take a look at it, if you're going off the odd holes with the driver, you're going to be hitting 7 drivers. The same with the even, 7 drivers. 9 approach shots for each person. So the balance it's perfect. You know, there's no real course advantage to sending out people in a different way. This is what you're going to be seeing from a Ryder Cup perspective. This is Bethpage Black. We've also approach distributionized this thing. So you can see the first 2 holes should be a couple wedges, 2 easy wedges to start the round. Then you got 2 long irons. How it worked out for the even and odd distribution, the guys that are teeing off on the guys teeing off on the even shots will only have 2 wedges. Then they'll have 2 150 to 200 and 3 from 200 plus. We've got a lot more long irons if you're going off the odd tees. So you can take a look here. Odd tees, we're going to be looking at approach play on these 3 holes, 2 of them coming from 200 plus. So basically, if you're looking for someone to do the long iron stuff, you send them off the odd tees. If you're looking for someone with a bit of better wedge play, you go and rock and roll. So that's basically it. What's up, Phoenix Reeves, my man? Best stream of the week. Well, I appreciate you. We are doing some Ryder Cup stuff. If you have any Tour Championship questions, let me know. So this is basically the situation. There's a small nuance when it comes to approach play distribution, but not really. You know, it's pretty similar. Also, something that I did some research on. Since 2008, I have every single Ryder Cup match and I did the data dumping, digging, diving, whatever you want to call it. And I noticed that, we saw Ludwig and Victor dismantle Brooksy and Scotty on hole 11 or something like that. So this is the number of matches making it to this specific hole. Obviously, you have to play the first 9 because you're going to go into hole 10, 9 up. So you can technically end the match on hole 10, after hole 10, going into hole 11. The boys waxed Scotty and Brooks going into hole 12. So 99% of matches make it to hole 12. Let's go with 99% of matches make it to hole 14. Then 91% of matches make it to hole 15. 78 make it to 16, and 45 to 17. So less than half the matches make it to 17, and then 33% only make it to 18. So less than basically 1/3 of the matches make it to hole 18. So these 2 holes, these final couple holes, you're going to see someone having a lot of approach shots. 3 of his last approach shots for the guy going off the odd tees, he's going to have those 3 approach shots of the 9. So 33% of them on the back end that might not even see daylight. Specifically 17 to 18, there's less than a 50% chance that they see those holes. So just kind of interesting stuff. If you're good iron players going off on the odds, you're not going to have them hit all 9 of their approach shots early in the match. Some nerdy crap. It's stuff I get off to. I don't know. It's fun. So that's basically the course breakdown. I'm going to be building models to figure out which golfers pair up the best with each other for alternate shot based off the different distributions, things like that. So that'll be coming in the Model Maniac Discord here once we get a break next week. So that's going to be fun. All right. So we did a little cheat sheet, me and Kenny, broke down our guys on Fantasy Golf Degenerates. Go check out that on Fantasy Golf Degenerates, Mayo Media Network, Kenny's stuff. You can see on that show. We also broke down the Tour Championship, DFS slate, a couple bets. So basically, I'm not going to replicate what we did over there. That's why I'm sending you guys that way. For my selections, let's go with, I'm just going to rank. We'll go with the Euros first. And I'm going to show you guys my rankings. And then we're going to just deep dive each kind of guy. Take a look at what's going on. We're going to be taking a look at their Ryder Cup history. What's happened? Who have they been paired with? What formats do they excel in? How have they done away versus home? Important questions. Which partners could they potentially be playing with? That's what we're going to be doing this show. That's the journey we are on. So back to our Ryder Cup cheat sheet, confidence ranking for the Model Maniac. I have Justin Rose and Tommy Fleetwood ranked 9.5 confidence. Got immense confidence in both of them heading into this year's Ryder Cup. Rory's ranked 9th. Rory just doesn't have his A game, his fast ball right now, and it's a concern to me, but it's not more than 1 point worth of. If Rory lost to Scotty this weekend, I'd probably give him 9.5, 10, potentially. But Scotty is 10. He is the benchmark. So Tommy Fleetwood, Justin Rose. Let's go with Tommy Fleetwood. Why am I thrilled about Tommy Fleetwood? Well, Tommy Fleetwood's played 12 matches, and he's scored 8 points for his team. If we want to take a look at his breakdown, Tommy Fleetwood in those 12 matches has a 67% win percentage. Great. It's one of the best in the field, and it's got 12 matches. Double-digit people, Tommy's leading the field with 2 out of every 3 wins. He's won half of his single matches, basically. He's got a win, a tie, and a loss. Foursomes, Tommy Fleetwood is 4 for 4, baby. His game is so well-rounded. It makes so much sense. So it makes complete sense that in foursomes, and Europe has typically thrived in foursomes, by the way. They win foursomes at a ridiculous clip, almost 60% of the matches, I think. So it doesn't make, if you take a look at all the high foursome percentages, it's going to be a lot of Europeaners. Keegan Bradley and Patrick Reed are from the old school. They haven't played a Ryder Cup in over 4 years now. So Colin Morikawa was the only one that's solid in foursomes, and that was mainly because of Dustin Johnson. Colin was also playing much better golf in 2021. So fun facts over there. Tommy Fleetwood, top-notch for foursome scoring. John Rahm also hasn't lost a foursomes match. Ludwig Oberg hasn't lost a foursomes match in his 2 matches. Justin Rose, 10 foursome matches, 7.5 points. Let's go, Rosie. Fantastic foursomes partner. Did not play in foursomes last year. He was just, last Ryder Cup. He was just Bobby Mack in 4-ball. Him and Bobby Mack dominated. So they win 1.5 points too. So back to Tommy Fleetwood. Tommy Fleetwood, here's the year-by-year stuff. In these couple matches, let's take a look and see what whose partners have been. If you want to take a look at partner number 1, last year, he played with Nikolai Højgaard in 4-balls. He played with Rory in foursomes. Makes a lot of sense. No wonder Tommy's freaking track record in foursomes is solid. He's got Rory McIlroy. He's got Victor Hovland in a couple of them, but he took some L's in Rome versus Justin Thomas and Patrick Candy. They tied. They lost to Scotty and Bryson. This was at Whistling Straits. Sorry. Then in 2018, him and Molinari won all 4 of their matches. Mollywood, you know the drill. So there's a lot to like from Tommy Fleetwood in the Ryder Cup. God damn, he's been playing well. I'll show you my cheat sheet and where I derived these rankings from. So I went ahead and found opportunities gained. Sorry, not opportunities, birdies gained. Birdies and eagles gained on the field for that specific round, for that specific tournament. So that Harry Hall, by the way, if we go ahead here and unfilter this, we're kind of ADDing it way through here, but kind of dropping a lot of knowledge on you guys. Harry Hall's number 1 in birdie rates on PGA Tour. But if I give us birdies and eagles on courses that Harry Hall has played with Scotty Scheffler, and Scotty Scheffler hasn't made as many birdies as Harry Hall because he's been playing more difficult courses. But compared to the people he was playing with during those specific rounds and conditions, Harry Hall is what? 7th, 8th in this field behind Penge. So you can take Penge out of here. He may not make the team anyway, but still, of the people eligible, he's only gained the 8th most birdies. You know, he's played different tournaments, played a lot of non-signature events where you can go bananas with the putter, make a lot of birdies. That's what Harry Hall does. Anyway, so birdies and eagles going to be a part of the situation here. Bogeys and double bogeys, that's going to be like a foursome stat for me. Guys that avoid the bogeys, that's perfect. You want to keep your partner in a chilled, safe, comfortable zone. You don't want to be putting your partner under duress in foursomes. Keep your ball in play. These are the guys that avoid disaster better. You know, like Justin Rose, surprisingly a fantastic foursomes player, but the double bogey rates for him, he's also an enigma. He's been playing really badly at times, but I think in Ryder Cups, it's a totally different situation. You know, I'm not going to be too worried about it. So I've combined both of these to get the column both, right? Just added them together. Then I went ahead and added the last 12, last 6, and last 3 months of strokes gained for each one of these dudes to get an average for them. So there's the average. Scotty Scheffler gaining 1 million strokes on everyone. 3.5 strokes. Those are raw strokes. Those are true strokes. Who knows what strokes they are. Then I also went and found Ryder Cup points, and I used that to generate a total score. Now, the points column, I used their win rate with their points. So if Rory McIlroy, say, had 20 points, his win rate is 55%. So he would have got 11 points added to that total. You know what I'm saying? You can have millions of points, but if you're not winning a lot, those points don't matter to me. So it's kind of a way to weight those points down. Jordan Spieth, for instance, would be bananas on this situation because he's got so many goddamn points, but has played in these things forever. So that's the situation here. No Francesco Molinari for Tommy. Last year he played with Nikolai. There's a good chance they run him back again. Could be another Nikolai situation. I would imagine he plays with Rory a lot. So we'll get the Rory vibes from him again this week, and then we're ready to rock and roll. All right. So that's Tommy Fleetwood. I would imagine he plays with Rory in the 4-balls and then plays with Nikolai in the foursomes, like we saw here. 4-balls, sorry. Plays with Rory in the 4 Sims. That's the situation. Okay. Wheels up saying, cheers, mate. I'm playing Im, Scotty, Colin in all my DK lineups. My favorite core 3, but excited for the Ryder Cup. Oh, man. That's a very aggressive lineup with Scotty Scheffler. Obviously. Im, possible. Mission impossible with him right now. Not gaining with the irons at all. It's just rough, but he's cheap. So I get it. Colin, I'm just out on. I just don't think he's got it right now. There's only 30 people left. He's probably going to finish outside the top 20 again. That's just kind of what's going on in his life. So you do your thing, my brother. You do your thing. Moving along, we're going to go from win percentages down over here. Or do we want to do my my cheat sheet? We can just go by Euro team again and figure it out from there. All right, so here's my total score. These are the guys I like. Harry Hall pops up there, by the way. Don't know if he's going to make this team. We'll see. So there's Rory McIlroy. Let's take a peek at what he's been up to in these last couple of Ryder Cups. It's been a fun time watching him. I think he does a lot better. Let's take a look. I don't know where that sentence was going, but the last couple. So he played 5 in Rome, and Wyndham Clark and Patrick Cantley beat them. Matt Fitzpatrick was his teammate in 4 balls both times. So that's likely going to happen again. They won 5-3 the following time versus Colin Morikawa and Xander Schauffele. 5-3, dismantling. I do remember Fitzy went bananas in that game, in that match. I think he made like 6 birdies in the first 8 holes or something. Bananas good. But Rory dismantled Sam Burns as well. So he's solid there. But in the American situation, American venue, Rory only had 1 W. He beat Xander Schauffele in singles. He lost every other match. Was he playing the greatest then? We don't know. I think he was kind of playing the same as he is now. You never know what happens, He just hasn't had his A game the last couple weeks since the Masters, man. Even at the Open Championship, he finished 7th. That was a backdoor 7th place. Was never really in the mix. He's just not got it right now. If him and Scotty went up against each other, I think Scotty's going to wax him pretty much every time. So we'll see. I don't think Scotty will go up against Rory. It'd probably be John Rahm and Scotty again. Give John a 3rd chance to try and beat Scotty Scheffler in singles. Hasn't done that yet. We'll see. All right, some other partners for Rory McIlroy. Ian Poulter not playing. Shane Lowry played some 4 balls. They got absolutely waxed by Tony Finau and Harris English at Whistling Straits. Wow, that's a weird sentence to say. 4-3. Interesting stuff. So there's a potential for him and Shane to go together. There's a potential. I would imagine Luke Donald and Eduardo Molinari are going to run back a lot of the same combinations. Matt Fitzpatrick likely going to be playing with Rory McIlroy. We'll see if he plays all 5 sessions. He's done that in 2 of the last 3 Ryder Cups, both of them being on Euro soil. He only played 4 on USA soil. So maybe that he played all 5 in 2016 again, played all 5 in 2014, played all 5 in 2000. Jesus, Roy plays, eh? He plays. So we'll see. They likely roll him out 5 times. So he's going to be a great option. Where else are we going? Yeah. So Rory makes a lot of sense. Let's take a peek at how his stuff distributes. Rory McIlroy, 55% win rate. He's played 33 matches. That's insane. That's an absurd amount. Justin Rose has played 7 less matches than Rory, and he's 45 years old. So interesting to see there, but also Rosie's got a 5% bigger win rate. We'll see. Remember, I was speaking about Jordan Spieth, 22 matches. He's only got 10.5 points. So that's interesting to see. Justin Thomas, though, of the guys playing this week, take a look at this. We are missing Jordan Spieth, Ricky Fowler, and Brooks Koepka. We were all 3 the leading points earners for this team that played last Ryder Cup as well, by the way. So DJ's not on the team either. He was one of the best points earners too. And I believe he's got like 13.5 points. So he was easily in the mix. Justin Thomas, Patrick Reed. Patrick Reed's not going to be playing. So JT is the lone dude with 8 total points scored in Ryder Cups. Then it's Patrick Cantley at 5.5 if he makes the team. He's not auto qualified. I don't know. I digress. Jordan Spieth's not going to be playing. Ricky Fowler's not going to be playing. Brooks, not. Justin Thomas, not. Justin Thomas is. Let's take a look at JT's situation. My problem with Justin Thomas is I don't know if he's going to drive the ball well enough around this golf course. He has never driven the ball worse than he does this year. If we take a look at Justin Thomas, friends, family, and fans, we're going to go to his career summary over here. He's having the best putting performance of his PGA Tour career. Never putted better. He's also having the worst driving performance of his PGA Tour career. This was negative at one point. He seems to have found a bit of juice. There were some bad rounds. Masters, PGA Championship, he actually gained a fraction. Congrats. US Open, lost. Open Championship, lost. So he's lost in all the big major events with tough conditions. Now, we've mentioned JT. 8 points in 13 matches. And these couple foursome matches with Jordan Spieth, Jesus, I think JT had to play out of his mind to get this half last year. Jordan cost him a lot of points. A lot of points. Jordan was not playing good. To lose in 4 balls to Bobby Mack and Justin Rose. I remember listening to that match and thinking Jordan is just playing like a complete child. Makes no sense to me. I'd imagine JT gets a better partner this year. Now, the fun thing is going to see who he partners with because it's Patrick Cantley or Jordan Spieth. That is it. That is the only partner that I believe he has had. He's got Patrick Cantley as well. Patrick Reed was Jordan Spieth's partner. I'm getting all turned around here. So it's basically Spiethy and JT doing their thing. Who would be Justin Thomas's partner in either format? 4 balls, you can pretty much do anything you want. Let's go with foursomes and take a look here and see who's got a good foursomes track record for the red team. And it would be Patrick Reed would be obviously someone that is a great foursomes partner. Colin Morikawa is like having Jordan Spieth on your team right now. It's just bad. He's just very, very bad. Now, JT's putting well. Colin can't seem to make any putts. So maybe JT would make a couple putts that Colin can't. And maybe JT, him and Colin are pretty much the same iron player. So it will be interesting to see what they get up to there. I don't know if he gets paired together. Does Keegan and JT play together? JT is like the emotional energy source. So do you want another emotional guy playing with him? Or do you want someone like, there's a lot of guys that are good in foursomes that are not playing this week. Holy cow. Scotty Scheffler is going to be a foursomes partner with Russell Henley. We saw that in the President's Cup. That's going to happen. So it's not going to be him. I don't want Sam Birds touching a foursomes pairing. Bryson DeChambeau and JT is interesting. They're both probably very good out the rough. I think they could cover each other's tracks up quite nicely. Bryson does hit a lot more fairways than people give him credit for. So he's a potential guy. I did think Cameron Young would be a good partner for Bryson DeChambeau. We will see in that department. Harris English maybe with Justin Thomas seems like a solid pairing, I would say. Ben Griffin seems like a solid option in foursomes. You're going to need someone that's solid out of the rough when it comes to approach play. So, we'll see how that goes. Someone that's, give me 2 seconds. I've got someone knocking on my door here. I'm back. Ernie got out. Neighbor brought him back. Dog on the loose. Not good. He gets out underneath the fence somehow. It's happened now multiple times. We're going to have to nail that fence down. Apologies for that. Glad I answered the door. Dog on the loose. Never good. Let's recharge you. What were we talking about? Ben Griffin. JJ Spawn. Probably a good option for Justin Thomas. Russell Henley is with Scotty we spoke about. So Harris English, JJ Spawn, or Ben Griffin, I think make a lot of sense. Dog on the loose, man. Dog on the loose. Couldn't believe what was going on. What a nice... It's the first time I met the neighbors. Anyway, this dog. Ernie. It was Ernie. He's just on his own mission lately. All right. So Justin Thomas, Ben Griffin, Harris English, JJ Spawn would be his foursomes partner. You put anyone with him in four ball. Four ball is where you play your own golf ball. Four balls are in play. Foursomes, sometimes you are playing your golf ball. Simple way to remember that. So we'll get the filter off here and find our next guy to deep dive. Total win percentages in the Ryder Cup, who will be playing this week. Max Homa, not going to be there. Interesting. We're jumping around here, people. We're jumping all over the place. Okay. Justin Rose. Let's take a look at Rosie. So now the interesting thing with Rose, 26 Ryder Cup matches. He has scored the most, 7.5 points. Remember, we saw that in foursomes. He's gained a lot of points there. In foursomes, he has not played with Bobby Mack. Since 2018, he has not played a foursomes match. He missed the 2021 Ryder Cup. He's on the 2023 team in Rome. Only played 3 times. Lost to Patrick Cantley, 2-1 in singles. Beat Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth 3-2 and tied Wyndham Clark and Max Homa in that final match, making that big putt on the final hole. Momentum changing putt. That's what Justin Rose brings to the party, people. That's what Justin Rose brings to the party. So Rosie played with Stenson, played a little bit with Rahm. Where was this? Is this? I can't remember where 2018 Ryder Cup was. Was it France? I can't remember. Then he played with Stenson, Kayama, Molinari. So no one that's going to be on the team he's been a foursomes partner with. If they put them back out there again, I can see his role changing. He was the mentor to Bobby Mack, who was in a rookie year. I think Bobby Mack has grown in the last 2 years significantly. He could be a consoling partner for a rookie if there were one on the team this year. I don't think there's going to be. I think Nikolai, the 12th mystery man, is going to be Nikolai. Run that shit back. It's going to be exactly how they go. I'm curious to see what happens there. Nikolai is going to be the guy. So Justin Rose, pairings for Rosie. Interesting situation for foursomes. I don't mind. Oh my. We played all together last year. So it was Rory and Tommy playing together. John Rahm and Tyrrell will play together. Victor and Ludwig will play together. Matt Fitzpatrick and Rory. I don't even know what I'm doing. Is this a foursomes? We're talking about foursomes. So the thing with Rasmus is he is inside the qualifying criteria. And you know what? It would be a pretty seamless transition, if I do say so myself. If we take a look at Rasmus's score over here, he's not that far behind Nikolai. You know, Nikolai does a better job avoiding the big numbers, but Rasmus is up there with the birdies and eagles. He definitely gets the job done. He's right in the mix, but Nikolai's been fine. You know, like he's explosive in random situations. I would imagine they only played Nikolai in four ball, which is exactly what you want. I think, Yeah, four ball situation. So he is, and he played with Rahm and Fleetwood. So there's no real ideal partner for him. Rasmus is definitely on the cards. They're interchangeable. They're both explosive, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens there. We were chatting about someone to pair up with Justin Rose in foursomes. Let's take a look. I want to see who the partners were for Tyrrell. Tyrrell Hatton had foursomes. I just want foursomes partners. So Tyrrell had John Rahm. Rose has not got anyone. We're going to go with Rory. Wow. I'm just looking at last year. Rory went with Tommy. Okay. Then we want Ludwig. Went with Victor. That will probably happen again. Then we're going to go with Shane Lowry. He's going to partner up with Sepp. Do they go that route again? Seems like very similar games. Could see them doing that again. Makes a lot of sense. Neither playing the greatest golf right now. Who else do we got here? Rose, Hatton, Rory, Shane, Nikolai. Yeah. Bobby Mack did not play foursomes. Alex Noren's not going to be on the team. Justin Rose did not play foursomes. So those are some interesting names. Maybe when we see the likes of these are stock standard pairings. They did not change at all. So it's going to be interesting to see what changes in that area. I would be shocked if they roll out Shane Lowry and Sepp Straka twice again. So Rose likely pairs up with one of these two dudes. Potentially both. Once a week, once a day. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see which person Rose gets as his foursomes partner. I'd imagine they roll him out again as a foursomes guy. But Bethpage isn't the best golf course for him either. So it could be a situation where they keep him safe in the four ball situation. He just makes his pars. He makes a lot of birdies as well lately when it matters. His birdie percentage is pretty down because that's been all season long, which has been ass. So I think Shane Lowry, Sepp Straka are definitely two options that could be paired up with Justin Rose if we like that kind of thing. John Rahm, man, he has not been making. So in the PGA majors, the four majors he played in this year, he was ass when it came to birdies and eagles. A lot of his scoring came with the bogey avoidance. Made a lot of pars. Not a lot of birdies. I mean, geez, pretty much everyone in his team was better than him. Shane, Fitz, and Bobby Mack the least in the majors, in the big events. So Rahm, is he making birdies? We don't know. He's not winning golf tournaments. He's not the same Rahm we saw. My confidence in him is 8.5. He's consistent. He's there. I don't see him being a 5-match person. I don't see him. What is his situation being in the couple cups? Yeah. Reset the filters. We don't want all those things on there. We want to see everything about John Rahm. John Rahm has had Ian Poulter, Justin Rose, Nikolai, Sergio, and Tyrrell as partners. With Tyrrell Hatton, he's had Justin Rose as a partner as well in 2018. They lost one down to Finau and Koepka. He's had Nikolai Højgaard in a four-ball partnership, tied. So neither guy on the team currently has won a game with him except for Tyrrell Hatton, who he has not lost with. They are a mean team. Foursomes or four-ball. They have either won or tied their matches. And that was a Bryson Scotty match that they tied at Whistling Straits on day one. Big performance. So you could see that partnership. That's a dynamite team. Dynamite team, if you ask me. Four balls and foursomes. Incredible stuff. So do we see Bryson and Scotty go again in four balls? I think Sam Burns potentially is Scotty's partner. We'll see there. But I think Tyrrell stands a good chance being John Rahm's partner again. They were partners in foursomes. That likely goes once again this year. So that's pretty locked in. Both of those matches were W's for them. Jon Rahm in the four balls and singles. Anytime he played Scotty Scheffler, he's tied him. Has he beat Scotty Scheffler yet? Oh my God. Yes, Scotty Scheffler. Yes, he did. In 2023 in the foursomes, Rahm and Tyrrell beat Scotty and Sam, which was a terrible, terrible partnership to put Scotty with Sam Burns. Was never in the fairway. So that's the only time Rahm has beat Scotty Scheffler, was when Sam Burns pretty much nuked their chances. Every other time, Rahm has taken an L or tied the match with Scotty. Incredible stuff. And I believe when Rahm made this putt in Europe against Scotty and Brooks, Rahm rammed it in on that final hole, like bounced up in the air and then went back in the cup. It was missing and potentially going to lose the hole for sure. Huge putt, massive. The 18th hole was daggerish for the USA team in Rome. Interesting things there. So Rahm, 12 matches, 7.5 points. Tyrrell Hatton doing a lot of the heavy lifting here. He's won 2.5 points with Tyrrell in the team environment. That's going to be the case. So let's do Tyrrell while we're here. Makes a lot of sense. Why don't we get Tyrrell Hatton as an option? There we go. Tyrrell, 11 Ryder Cup matches, played in 3 now. This is his second U.S. appearance. He has yet to win. He did win with Shane Lowry in 4 balls versus Tony Finau and Harris English, 1-up. That was his only W at Whistling Straits. They obviously tied, and lost to JT 4-2 in singles. What has Tyrrell's situation been in singles? He beat Brian Harman 3-2, but he's lost to Patrick Reed and Justin Thomas the 2 times. I would love Tyrrell in singles. Like the stuff he gets up to. Interesting situation going on there. So single situation, 4 balls, Tyrrell's been pretty solid. Only taken 1 L versus JT and Spieth back in 2018. I believe that was in La Nacional. Foursome-wise, him and Rahm, pretty damn good pairing. 4 and 3 Ws over both of their opponents. So I think him and Rahm will definitely be foursome situations and potentially a 4-ball pairing here. Maybe gets his 4 matches. We'll see what happens with Tyrrell. Because did he play all 4? How many did he play in 2023? He did play a 4-ball with Victor Hovland. Spicy pairing that one as well. Lots of birdies can be made there. So that's going to happen. We'll see what happens again this week. This year, this Ryder Cup with them. Tyrrell and Rahm both paired together nicely in the birdie and eagle situation. That's why Tyrrell struggled in the majors. Not going to lie to you. But not a big birdie maker. Usually, I think, kind of keeps his stuff together. We'll see what happens there. Ryder Cup points, 7.5 and 6 for both of them. Good to see. Rasmus will be doing a debut. Got 0 Ryder Cup points, 0 matches. He could potentially switch out for his brother. I wouldn't be mad at that. That's basically, they say they're the same person, basically. Ludwig Oberg is playing fine right now. Completely blew up in the final round at the BMW Championship. 4 matches. Victor Hovland as his partner, all 3 of them. They won 2 emphatically and lost 2 emphatically. Took an L to Brooks in singles. Brooks Koepka, like 40% of his total points have came in singles matches. Brooks is like one of the most selfish, individualized golfers there are. He doesn't like Ryder Cups. Doesn't like. So, what's up, Kev, my brother? So, yes, Victor Hovland likely going to be Ludwig's partner again if they roll out the same situation here. Brooksy got his vengeance, though. 9 and 7. They beat Scotty and Brooks. Brutal stuff. So, 9 means 9 points scored. 7 means 7 holes to go. It was likely 8 up with 8 to go. They won that final hole. That's how it gets to 9 and 7. For those of you that are unfamiliar with match play. So Victor's going to be his guy. Neither are playing the greatest golf right now. Neither can really chip. That's going to be interesting. They played foursomes both days. That'll be interesting to see if they roll that out again. I would imagine both of them right now are 4-ball material. Not so much foursomes. Their games are like super erratic at the moment. Ludwig, nothing too crazy to go off of there. I think he'll be playing a lot of golf with Victor Hovland, which we will take a look at next. This may just be a Euro pod. I'll do a USA one in comprehension some other time. Some other time, baby. All right. Victor Hovland played in 2 Ryder Cups. He's played in 2 Ryder Cups. Why is this not showing? There we go. Clicking buttons. There we go. All right. So he's played a lot of matches. Jeez, Victor Hovland's played in 10, played every single session of his Ryder Cup career. And it was a lot of ties. Holy cow. If you take a look at this Victor Hovland situation, there's 3 ties. 4 L's, 3 W's, and 3 ties. All the W's came in Europe in last year. He had not won a match in Ryder Cup prior to. So they tied with Spieth in day 1, but I remember it was foursomes to start the session. So he did win his first point the very first morning of, which is good to see. First W of Victor's career. Incredible stuff. Also, absolute juggernaut. The guys, they sent him out there 5 times. Both times. He's played 10 matches in 10 matches. It's incredible. I did not realize that. So, yeah. Woo, 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 woo. We'll see. All right. So, random question here from Kevin. Who is the worst player on each side? So, per my total score, I got Rasmus as the worst player. Now, the thing is, why is Rasmus even on the points list? What has he done to get there? Second at the Danish, second at the Zurich. Okay. That's it. Those are his only 2 top 10s. Last year, he probably scored all of his points that he has. Multiple top 5s. This year, it's been bad, man. Like, I would take Nikolai instead. If you take a look at Nikolai's situation, look at this. There's a bit more popping going on. So if they take Rasmus, I would say he is the worst player on the team. Of the 11 that are returning, I will say, if we just take a look at the strokes gained wise, Rosie is not the worst. There's going to be an exception there. He steps it up at certain times. You've seen playoffs, majors, Ryder Cups. Nikolai and Shane are pretty close in strokes gained. You know what I'm saying? Over the last couple months, Shane has been playing very badly. He's going to be on the team, but he's playing very badly. So I'll answer it with both Nikolai and Shane. Someone that's certainly on the team, I would say Shane. Playing the worst of everyone. Tyrrell's playing better. Bobby Mack, obviously fine. Victor's been flirting with. Yeah, he doesn't know what he's ever doing. He doesn't ever know. I may have missed it earlier, but he's East Lake off limits. I get it's boring 30-person field, but just checking. A lot of my East Lake takes were on the Fantasy Golf Degenerate show. So I wasn't going to come out here and spew the same couple sentences that I spewed over there. It's towards the end of the show. We weren't necessarily too thrilled about it. I'm probably going to dive into a couple outrights potentially live. We'll see. I don't know. Does Marco Penge winning last week do nothing for him? I know it was a really crazy long shot. The thing is, he grades out quite nicely for me. He's long, which is perfect for Bethpage. He, in the couple rounds of major golf that I'm using here, he played nicely. I don't know. I think he would be an interesting, him or the Rasmus Højgaard brothers. I think they fine. Either one of them on the team in 12 spot, they're probably going to play 4-ball only. They are all 3 perfect opportunities. Fend for yourself in singles. I don't know. I think I trust Nikolai having been on the team before already. That's likely what they're going to pick. And again, not playing terrible. 4th at the Scottish, 2nd, him and his brother. If you're going to take Rasmus because of the 2nd at the Zurich, there's a 2nd for you. It was his brother that was on the team. So a couple better finishes on the PGA Tour. A nice 14th at the Open. Has been dialing it in with the irons. Whoa! Been dialing it. I mean, look at this explosivity on the ball striking front for Nicolai. Good work. Rasmus, not so much. He won this tournament, or second. But this is what you're looking for. Look at this off the tee dominance for Nicolai at Bethpage. Let's go. Get yourself in the fairway. Let's go. Nicolai, I think they're just running it back. There's not going to be a European rookie market this year. Interesting. I bet you now. So fun stuff there. Victor, incredible. Can't believe he's played 10 matches. Why doesn't Jonathan Ramathon play for it? Who's that? Who the hell is that? Bobby Mack. Let's take a look at Robert McIntyre. Justin Rose, his life savior. Anytime he played with Justin, he was banking a point. In 4 balls, by the way. Sorry. They tied Homer and Clark. Bobby Mack beat Wyndham Clark 2-1. I mean, could you have asked for a better run out for Bobby Mack? JT and Spieth. Spieth was pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. That entire Rome trip. Wyndham Clark was pathetic in singles, and just overall, him and Max Homer pretty much lost this match. They should have won it. So, I mean, Bobby never played great. I think he's a much better golfer now. This is an absurd chart to see. I don't know if he gets paired up with Justin Rose again in 4 balls. I think that's the one area that changes up a bit, where they can figure it out. I think Bobby Mack, there's going to be some changes now. And I think it could do with, I would not be surprised if Bobby Mack and Justin Rose went out in a 4-ball or a foursomes when Sepp and Shane should have gone out. Sepp and Shane are struggling, man. Struggling. So Bobby Mack has got his thing going on. Let's take a look at Shane Lowry. He's scored 2.5 points in 6 Ryder Cup matches. 1 win coming against Ricky Fowler and Colin Morikawa. Ricky Fowler was sick. It was the only team match he played all week, and he took a W there. And then Shane and Tyrrell beat Tony Finau and Harris English at Whistling Straits on Saturday. That's his only 2 wins. He did tie Jordan Spieth in Rome. That is not... It's not an achievement. Jordan Spieth is not the Jordan Spieth of old. That was last year. And then he lost every single match in the USA at Whistling Straits. Heftily. By 4. All 3 of them. Brutal stuff. Rory and Sepp, both his partners, 4 balls, foursomes, neither worked out. He played 4 balls, foursomes, both days in Rome. I would imagine he plays the same situation. He probably plays once a day. I would imagine he plays. There's no trend over here. I don't think he makes enough birdies, so I'd probably play him in foursomes. But foursomes are important. You got to dominate the Americans there. And he's only played 3 sessions every time. So I would not be looking at Shane Lowry in any DFS perspective. I doubt he's in shape enough to play 36 holes. That makes a lot of sense. He's never played the same day, 3-1-2, 3-2-1, boom, boom, boom. He's never, ever played the same day in a Ryder Cup. So Victor Hovland in 1 Ryder Cup has played 1 match less than Shane Lowry in 2. Incredible. All right, Shane Lowry, we will be chatting about after him. Sepp Straka also been struggling a little bit of late. Solo Ryder Cup in Rome. Obviously beat Colin and Ricky with Shane, like we just discussed. Lost to Max Homer and Brian Harmon, one of the better teams for the US team. And then lost to Justin Thomas in match play. JT dominant in match play. I think he's been sensational. Justin Thomas in match play singles has won every single one of his matches. He's undefeated, hasn't lost, hasn't tied in match play singles. Rory McIlroy, Tyrrell Hatton, Sepp Straka are on his scalp mantle for Justin Thomas. So Sepp, he played with Shane both matches. I don't see that happening again. I don't think either play with each other because Sepp has been bad, man. You know, okay, 7th at the Genesis, 3rd at the Memorial, 1 at the Truist. It's just been, since the US Open, it has been pretty rough for the most part. It's just been, I've been betting him lately. I think that's where my biases are coming from. Who else have we got going on over here? Matt Fitzpatrick. You want to see a Byron scorecard? Holy cow. Fitz, he had not, we are filtered by year here, friends. Let's go the other way around. 2016, he played in 2 sessions. He did not play on day 1 and lost his foursomes match against Brandt and Brooks, 3-2. Then lost his singles versus ZJ. Lost to Daniel Berger, Brooksy again. Lost to Xander and Patrick Cantley in Whistling Straits. Lost to Daniel Berger again in singles. Then in day 1, he got his first W. Rory and Fitzy took down Colin and Xander. Why they split up? Colin, like Patrick Cantley was the leading birdie maker on the PGA Tour in 2021. 2023. Yes, they were in Rome. Patrick Cantley back then was the leading birdie maker. They decided to roll out Colin Morikawa with Xander Schauffele instead of Patrick Cantley. Played him in foursomes, benched him for 4 balls, the number 1 birdie maker on the PGA on both teams. Left him on the bench in that format. Don't know why. Maybe he was sick. Maybe. Who knows? But Xander went out there and they took care of business. I mean, that's the only W that Matthew Fitzpatrick has. Lost to Max Homa in singles. So he played 3 matches and lost 2 of them. So Matthew Fitzpatrick in Ryder Cups is, you want to be going up against the man. There's a good chance you can beat him if you're an American. Fun stuff. And he's playing okay now. You know, playing good enough to have just made the team. So that's the kind of golf he's playing right now. But he has played well lately. Holy cow. Foursomes, he's just not won a game there. Or singles. Incredible. 3-0 in singles. 0-3. Cool. So that's going to be it. I think that might just be it. If you want to take a look at Play Profit X as well, there is a betting market for all the different golfers that could potentially be playing this Ryder Cup. You can bet on if these specific people, like, what is Jordan Spieth doing here? I'm going to be throwing out a no. I don't think he will be selected for the Ryder Cup at all. I don't think Chris Gotterup gets selected either. Matthew Fitzpatrick, there's a market for him. I think he does get selected, but you're going to have to lay like -400. So that's what's going on over at Play Profit X. Over here, you can also be betting top 5s in this market too. We've got Rory at +140 for a top 5. Russell Henley +170. Let me down last week in the top 10 market, both Rory and Russell. That's why I'm just kind of out this week. Just out. Who's Hollander? Hovland? Hollandaise? Who the heck knows? Awesome stuff, people. Weird show. Just a deep dive. We just did the deep dive. Why not? I appreciate every single one of you. This is available to y'all in the Model Maniac Patreon. Use TWIR50 for 50% off. I'll be doing some NFL stuff. I'll have a nice Power BI tool for you guys for that. I'm thinking about just betting unders this year. Just betting some under props, having a good time in there. Going to be throwing out some best ball ideas in the Discord as well. It's the same as the golf Discord. Same price, same package. If you get golf, you're getting PGA. If you're getting PGA, you're going to get... If you're getting PGA, you're getting NFL. If you're getting NFL, you're getting PGA. Same thing. Want everybody in the same world. All right. I am also a parent now, and baby kid's home from daycare, and then I'm doing a show on a Tuesday night. I'm thinking about changing my time to lunch, back 9 brunch, 11 Central, noon Eastern. So that may be actually what I do going forward. Daycare starts next week. So it's been fun being in the 7 o'clock Eastern slot. Not for more. Life's changed. This is the episode 151. You know what I'm saying? So we got to move on. We got to change. We got to grow with the world we're living in. And I think the time is going to move to 12 Eastern on a Tuesday. I'm home. I don't have a baby. It frees up a Tuesday evening for me to love on my child. So I think that's going to be where we go, wearing the dad hat. So you got to do that. So that's what's going to happen. 12 Eastern next Tuesday. There's no tournament. So maybe I'll just do the US team preview as well on next Tuesday. Maybe I just take the week off. Who knows? But the next time we go live will be on 12 Eastern on Tuesdays. I've been rambling. I appreciate every single one of you. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Message me. Get in the Discord if you want any Tour Championship stuff. I'll be firing up the model. A couple people requested in there. I'm not in the mood. But we have to do it because we have to. Have a good one. Catch you guys later. Peace out. Be a good person. Make someone's day a lot better. Catch you guys later.